So traders, in this video, I'm going to be talking about gold and what's happening here when it comes to the gold market, also the silver market as well too. There's something really interesting happening here right now, and a few key areas you need to be focusing on. Also, when it comes to the stock market, guys, I really truly believe we're going to have some more downside to come. I'm also going to talk about the fear and greed indicator and what that's actually telling me when it comes to the SP500. Also looking at the stock market as well too. What's some really key major levels of support that's been happening for the last couple of years that we need to be focusing on, and how to actually plan it by looking at the week ahead. Let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video, because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Hey traders, let's get straight into today. Let's have a good look at the markets. If you haven't done so yet, guys, I'm running a webinar today. If you'd like to learn how I trade the markets, how I find my opportunities, what exactly am I looking for, how to scan the markets for A quality setups that generate over a 90% success rate on these A quality setup trades, first link in the description, guys. Join me on my next webinar. I'll teach you all the details about that. So looking at let's actually get into the stock market right now. So looking at the actual stock market itself, and look what's going on through here. So firstly, looking at the actual good old Nasdaq, let's bring on the good old 52 moving average. Because as you guys know, I love my 52, right? I love the 52. So 52, guys, for you guys that don't know about the 52, if you think about a moving average as more like, a lot of people like to use stochastics, right? And by the way, my trading screen, let me actually bring this up here. Let me bring up all indicators. My trading screen used to look like this. Oh, I had so much stuff going on. The volume down here, right? And I had the RSI going on through here. It's like, oh my goodness, the RSI that I had. Oh, look at this here. I had a double stochastic. Ooh, double stochastic. Oh my goodness, that's so powerful. You got a slow stochastic double. Then you got the Bollinger Bands through here. And then I have like 1, 2, 3 moving averages through here as well too. Oh, it is just so fantastic. No, it's not. It's confusing. And it's like, do I go long? Do I go short? Is it going to bottom? Is it not? What's going on? So anyway, I used to trade like that. Now I trade like this. And the reason why I do that, guys, is most of the time I was looking for my indicators to tell me, should I go long or should I go short? But now, what do? Now I'm actually more focused on, because I've become so much better at understanding the price itself, the chart itself, and how to actually read the chart, because the better you can read the chart, the better trader you'll be, right? So it's the chart itself, becoming a master trader in the chart itself. Understanding the market itself can actually help you become a much better trader from there. So looking at the good old Nasdaq from here, we are getting a pullback. We're getting pretty close to equilibrium, right? And as I was saying before, is that using the 52 moving average, I like to use it from a momentum indicator plus an overbought, oversold indicator. And as you can see, that for momentum, whenever the moving average is trending in any direction, like a strong direction, up or down, we tend to have what? Strong momentum. That's strong momentum. So let me ask you a question. What's going to increase your success rate? Going against strong momentum or going with it? Obviously going with it, right? So that's one of the very first things I'm utilizing the 52 for. And also the second thing I'm utilizing it for is I'd like to see the market at least pull back towards around the 52, around the 52, around the 52, right? So that's actually one of the things I'm actually looking for. Now, guys, in that webinar below, I'll teach you all the details to my trading system. That's actually rule number, what's that? Rule number 2, right? So I've got 4 simple rules that I follow, and that's actually rule number 2, the reason why I use the 52, but then I need to have my other rules as well too. I don't just utilize that, I utilize other things to make sure I get crystal clean, precise setups that give me not only the good trading entries, but have that good long-term momentum. Anyway, so the purpose of me telling you that is looking at these markets here. Look at this here. So looking at these markets, we've had this nice drop in the markets right now, okay? And I believe we're getting really close, really close towards possibly the market finding a bit of support here soon. We've had this movement on the downside. If I use my good old Fibonacci tool, right? The good old Fibonacci tool from there to there. Actually, there's the 50% level. I don't think we're going to get down to 50%. I don't think the market's going to be that weak. It could do, right? It could do. One thing I do believe is probably like it. See how it came down to here and rejected off the 52? So it came down, came up, rejected it, and then continued. That's what I see. Probably come down, maybe do something like this. Let the 52 catch up, and then we may get ready for something like that to come out of it. But for now, guys, there's a pain in the markets, but I believe we may get a little bit more pain out of this one here to really freak people out. And the reason why I say that is that if you go and have a look at the actual market itself, and I've talked about this many times, is that if you look at the fear and greed indicator here, right? Look at this fear and greed index here. So we're still at, right? We're still at pretty much greed in the market. So we haven't got any fear yet. And look at this here. We're still up here. We are still up here. So I was saying before in my past updates that whenever this fear and greed index starts to become really greedy, investors are still really greedy here right now, and they're thinking, it's okay, right? So we're probably going to get some sort of freak out this year. It may not be now, or it may be now, right? It may not be now, but eventually we're going to get what? We just see, look at this here. We go up and then we go back down to extreme fear. When extreme fear kicks in, stock market goes for a rally, go back up to here. We spend a bit of time for here. Eventually, the stock market goes through a bit of a dip. We end up coming back down here. Investors become fearful. Traders become fearful. Market then rallies. Go back up here. Investors become greedy. You see that there, right? So on the back of what I just said there, I believe, right, just like when I was saying through here for the last sort of maybe couple of weeks that, you know what, we're getting this extreme greed reading on the stock market right now. And that's telling me that, hey, we could be getting ready for a drop soon. And long and behold, now I don't just utilize that, right? I utilize this as more of a broad base. And then we can go, what? Look at this here. Then we can start to go, oh, now we can start to utilize some techniques like it's too far away from the 52, which is overbought. We've already had a very nice move to the upside. So therefore we're due for some sort of pullback. Some simple techniques like that, guys, that I teach. And actually that second link in the description there, guys, I'm giving away a free trading course. Part number 2 and 3 is all about chart reading mastery. So that's what you get in that free trading course there, guys. So we have this drop to the downside. So we're probably going to come back down to here. And then even if we did get, let's actually look at the, where's the 38? Yeah, the 38's around about there, around about the 14,200. Yeah, so okay, cool. Right, so I'm just looking at different levels where it could come down to. Again, we may even get a lot more of a drop to the downside to freak people out. If I'm looking at the good old, let's go look at the weekly charts here for a minute on Nasdaq. Because the good old Nasdaq, yeah, so we'll come back down to this level through here. That's actually a pretty strong level of support or resistance in it. Actually, probably the main area I would have to say is look at this here, guys, right? So now, class in session. For me, I see this resistance level through here, resistance, and support through here, right? But as you can see, if I bring my level down to here somewhere, around about that level there, you see what I just did? Now again, it's not exactly this high here, but that's probably more significant in this market right now than this is something I really have learned from my millionaire mentor actually by watching him do his things, do his lines. I can see that I've got this resistance through here. There's actually probably a little resistance through here, and support level through there. But I also can see there's a lot going on through there as well too. Right? So if I bring this down to here, this is the power of utilizing not a finite number, but more like an area, right? So I can see more, that's probably going to be the significant area through there. Look at that, even bounced off there. See, now I'm getting a lot more touch, right? Look at this here, had a lot of problems closing above it, had a lot of problems there. We also had a lot of resistance through there, and we also had a lot of problems through there. So you see how by me bringing it down a bit, again, what I'm doing here is, I'm trying to analyze what is the overall major level of support going to be through here. That's probably again, it's more like an average, non-exact. So if I go back to my daily charts now, and I bring on the trend line, so that tells me that that's probably going to be the support and resistance level. This whole area through here is probably going to be that level that finds support. And if I do a good old Fibonacci tool, and as you can see, that's just there, maybe even get a flush down, is the 50% Fibonacci tool. So that's the good old Nasdaq. Let's look at the SP500. And let's start off with the good old markets. Let's actually go back to the weekly charts here. And the reason why I want to do the weekly charts is I want to look at this. If the market's going to drop through here, where's it likely to drop to? I don't believe this is going to be a crash though. Right? We had a move up. We're probably just going to get something like this. Freak people out for a while. Donald Trump wins the election, and we just want to... Anyway, so we can see that through there, right? By the way, guys, who do you think is going to win the election? John, don't talk about politics. Shut up, you. All right, just having some general talk. We're all fascinated, like we're all interested about what's going to happen with the election, right? We all know that. So just general talk, guys. Who do you think is going to win the election this year? Very, very fascinating, right? So I'd have to use this line here once again, guys. I could possibly use this line up here, resistance there, a little bit of resistance there, but now I can also see just below it through here. So I'd have to say that for the S&P 500, the major level of support and resistance would have to be around about there somewhere. Right, now remember, it's more like an area, not a finite number, is it? Right, so I can see we had definitely resistance through there. We definitely had 1, 2. Now these are weekly bars, right? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, resistance, little resistance, a lot of resistance through there. So that tells me probably around the 4,500 area, not a 45. Not a 4,552.66 is the support level. Okay, no. All right. Now, if I also look at some maybe potential long-term levels that are likely to come into play on the S&P, I'd have to use something like this. Something like that I'd have to use. I'd have to use something like that. Isn't that amazing? Look at that. Maybe if I did something like this instead. I'm just trying to get the major level. And let me extend this to the right. And I'm going to make that a little bit thicker. Why am I going to do that? Oh, look at that there, right? So the reason why I'm doing this is that there's a lot of areas of support through here. If I go back to my daily charts now and squeeze my charts a bit more, you can see now what I'm looking at here from a daily perspective. Why is that important? Ooh, looks like the S&P could get a lot more downside to come, right? Because before it finds any significant support level, that 4,500 level could be through there. Now, if it is going to drop through there and freak people out, market go up, market go down. So, market drop, but more pain to come, I truly believe. And once again, looking at that fear and greed index is what I'm looking at through there. Let's go look at the good old Russell, and the Russell complete false fake breakout, right? Complete false fake breakout. Look at this here. Big move to the upside, above 200. Look at all that level through there. So let's go back to the good old weekly charts. By the way, traders, I love trading on the weekly chart, especially when we have a good strong moving average, right? This is a 24 moving average. I love trading trades when the market's doing that. When you get this here, it tells you that the overall trend is flat. So whenever you get a flat moving average, it's like we ain't doing nothing right now, right? So look at this here, flat, and then suddenly we start the trend for a bit. Now we go flat, right? So, but what inevitably happens after flat, we go for what? Move. Flat. We go for move. Flat. We're about to evacuate the building. I believe it's going to be up as well too. Now, I have to say that that'll be the level for the Russell. Yeah, so I'd have to use that level 3. I'm just saying if there's anything back here. And then there's not. So looking at this level 3 here from the Russell perspective, what do we see? We see the channel, right? The channel, resistance. We had a little fake out to the upside. Now we had a drop to the downside. Now I truly believe that this is going to be, the market doesn't do these patterns for no reasons, right? Look at this here. So we start to have a very big move to the upside through here, and then a very big drop to the downside like that through there, okay? And then a very big move to the upside. That's what I believe is coming through that. So yeah, that'll be that level there on the Russell. Where's the good old Fibonacci tools, right? The Fibonacci. And the reason why I use Fibonacci, guys, is that it just gives me an area where we could actually start to see this thing head back down to. And, look at this here. So more pain to come in the actual stock market. I truly believe that we could even get, a movement down towards, a bit of a fake out. Yeah, it just looks really, really, really weak there, guys, when it comes to these here. Now, traders, one thing that's really important that when you are trading is that you know what's called an A quality setup. Do you have an A quality setup? An A quality setup is that these setups don't come around that often, but when they do come around, they have massive high win-loss ratio and they can produce really, really, really big moves. If you don't and you need my help, then that first thing in the description there, guys, click on that. Go register for my webinar that I'm running today. And on that webinar, I'll teach you exactly what I look for, what is an A quality setup, how to scan the markets, how to find the trades, and how to actually identify these amazing opportunities no matter what market you are trading. Forex, anything out there, stocks, intraday charts. I'll teach you exactly what to do. And so so there, guys, make sure you go click on that button, that first link in the description. Go join my webinar today. And not only that, but I'll teach you what I had to do to go from $250,000 in debt to actually making money out of the stock market. So if you're losing a lot of money, I'm going to also teach you that as well too. Plus also, I'm going to give you like a bit of a bonus lesson on that webinar about how to actually see and how to jump on moves that are likely to make hundreds and hundreds of % return in your trade. And I even give you examples on that as well too. So anyway, if you really do need help from me to trading right now, this is it for you. First link in the description there, guys. Click on that. Go join my webinar, and I'll see you over there on that there. Now, let's go look at let's start off with the good old mining sector. Right? So the good old mining sector, what's happening through here? Let's bring up the weekly charts. So the weekly charts, so we've got all this resistance over here, right? Let's actually start off with the big picture. Big picture is what? That through there. Okay, cool. And then we have, look at that, guys. Look at that with the mining sector. The good old mining. And then we have this level through here, don't we? We have something possibly coming up through there somewhere, I would say. Like through there. Right? Possibly through there. Maybe even down through there somewhere. Look at that, right? Look at that. So we're definitely in this conjunction here, aren't we? Definitely in this conjunction. And if we have a look at this level or through here, resistance, look at this here. Support. And then now look at this whole area of support. So we're definitely at this level right now. So that tells me this. Let's go back to the daily charts. If indeed, you can see the reason why it actually found resistance here, right? Why? Look at that. That was that long-term resistance level coming down. Isn't that fascinating? What does that tell me? That tells me that if we hold here and we have a bit of fun through here for a while, and then we actually start to make our way up through there, breaking above this high, firstly, higher low, upward trend. And then once we actually break that level, 3,200, once we actually break that level, guess what? Then we're likely to possibly make our way back up to around the $36 to $37 level on the gold mining sector there. Let's actually go look at the silver market from here, and the silver market pretty much flat, right? Pretty much flat through there. Let's have a look through. So just looking at the major levels of support and resistance, actually it's just pretty much nothing in it. You've got a lot of resistance all through here, right? A lot of resistance. Look at that there, that whole area through there, guys. Whoa. Look at that there for the last couple of years. Major support level around the $26 level. So if we can hold through here, if we can, and the silver investors say, thank you to the silver gods, right? Thank you to the silver gods. If we can hold and start to make a rally out, again, this is actually not looking too strong right now. What we want to see is we've got these high lows in place, but we want to see this thing break above here. We want to see that level break above there, guys, right? So so listen here, right? So if we get that level through there, then that tells us now we get back above here. It tells us now the trend is still in place. Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. All these higher lows in place, right? We get this level through here and boom, we get a break above there. Get a potential break above there. That could be the start of a really big move. Amazing, right? Now let's go look at gold, right? Let's have a look at gold. Gold is still compressing up. Gold is in this bit of a short-term triangle pattern, which is quite exciting, by the way. Quite exciting. All right, look at this here. So we have this overall move to the upside from here to here. We're still squeezing up. It came, look what happened here recently. It came down yesterday, or the last trading day. I'm doing this video anyway. Whenever that was. Are you like me, guys? Like even though it's a Monday morning for me, right? Right now, I'm doing this recording anyway. I just like, did the market close yesterday? Because I spend so much time just looking at charts and stuff like that. I love it. Absolutely love it, guys. The markets have completely changed my life for the better in every area possible. It really, really, really has. Including forcing me to grow to become a much better person as well too, in patience, in discipline, in consistency. That's what the stock market does, right? Trading will do that to you. If you start to become really accountable about what you're doing, you start to realize, like, I'm not being patient here, or I'm not being disciplined here, or I'm not being consistent. The market will highlight all these areas you need to work on. So not only has it been good financially for me, but for the personal development, because I'm a very big, like, I got to get my shit together type thing, then the market says, okay, your standards right now is very low. Your discipline is very low. You need to increase your discipline, and so on and so forth. So anyway, So look at that this level through here. Gold is low, higher low. Looking at gold right now, if we do continue to find this support level through here, right? Got this low through here. If this is another higher low, we get something like this and we get a breakout, guys. Get ready for one of the greatest moves we've seen in a long, long, long time. I believe gold is going to go for a massive, massive move to the upside.